If you've been thinking about starting a newsletter, you've probably run into the same two names over and over again, Substack and Beehiiv. On the surface, they look like they do the same thing. They both let you write newsletters, send emails, publish posts, and make money. But once you actually start using them, you realize they lead you down two completely different paths. 6 months in, your newsletter, your audience, and even your business can look radically different depending on which one you choose. Because Substack isn't just a tool. Beehiiv isn't just a tool. They're two very different approaches for how your newsletter will grow, how you'll make money, and how much control you'll have long-term. And that difference explains almost everything else. The core difference that changes everything. Substack is best understood as a writing platform with a built-in audience network. Beehiiv is best understood as a newsletter business platform. That one distinction explains nearly every design choice they've made. Substack is optimized for writing, publishing, discovery, and subscriptions. It assumes you want to focus on writing first and let the platform help bring readers to you. Beehiiv is optimized for growth systems, analytics, automation, segmentation, and multiple monetization paths. It assumes you're building a media asset, not just sending emails. Neither approach is better. They're just built for very different types of creators. Writing, onboarding, and day-to-day use. This is where Substack shines immediately. You can sign up, open the editor, write and publish in minutes. The editor feels like an old-school blogging platform. Clean, minimal, and distraction-free. There are no complicated layouts, no confusing menus, and very few decisions to make. You write, you publish. That's it. For many writers, this is exactly what they want. Substack intentionally removes options so that you're never thinking about fonts, layout, blocks, or formatting. It keeps your focus locked on the words themselves. Beehiiv also isn't hard to use, but it feels more like setting up a real publication than opening a notebook. You get more controls, more settings, more customization, and more growth features right from the start. You can change fonts, colors, sections, layouts, and content blocks. You can design a branded newsletter instead of accepting a mostly locked-in look. The trade-off is that Beehiiv takes a little longer to learn, but the upside is that your newsletter actually feels like your brand, not just a Substack page. A simple way to think about it. Substack removes decisions. Beehiiv gives you options. Design and formatting. Substack keeps design minimal and opinionated. Everyone's newsletter looks fairly similar. You can add a logo, pick some colors, choose from a few fonts, and embed images, audio, and video. But there are no templates, no layout variations, and very limited customization. This is intentional. Substack believes design shouldn't distract from writing. Beehiiv gives you a bit more room to shape your newsletter. You still don't have total design freedom, but you get templates, design labs, content blocks, and more control over how your publication looks. You can add sections, buttons, tables, social embeds, video, audio, and more. Neither platform is meant to be a full web design builder, but Beehiiv clearly gives you more branding control if you care about presentation. What kind of creator each platform is really for. Once you understand this part, the rest becomes obvious. Substack is ideal if you are primarily a writer. You value simplicity over control. You want discovery baked into the platform. You don't want to think about growth mechanics. You just want to write and publish. Beehiiv is ideal if you want to grow aggressively. You care about analytics, segmentation, and automation. You want multiple monetization paths. You are building a media asset, not just a newsletter. You want full control over your audience and brand. In other words, Substack is for people who want to write and be discovered. Beehiiv is for people who want to build a newsletter business. Growth, discovery, and community. This is where the gap between Substack and Beehiiv becomes impossible to ignore. Substack behaves more like a social platform than an email tool. When someone joins Substack, they don't just subscribe to your newsletter, they also enter a discovery network. They see recommendations, trending writers, leaderboards, notes, and comment feeds. Readers can browse, follow, like, comment, message you privately, and explore other newsletters inside the Substack ecosystem. For many writers, this is incredibly powerful. Substack's recommendation engine regularly pushes new writers to readers who already consume similar content. This means your growth can happen organically without heavy marketing. You can literally grow just by writing consistently and engaging with the community. The trade-off is subtle but important. You don't fully control how discovery happens, who sees your work, or how the algorithm positions you. Beehiiv works in a very different way. There is no central discovery feed. There is no Substack homepage. There are no trending leaderboards. Instead, Beehiiv gives you tools to engineer your own growth. You grow through referral programs, SEO, partnerships, paid boosts, recommendation swaps, landing pages, lead magnets, and automated onboarding funnels. Beehiiv treats your newsletter like a marketing asset rather than a social profile. So if you want platform-driven discovery, Substack does that for you. If you want predictable, controllable growth systems, Beehiiv gives you that instead. Community and engagement. Substack is extremely community-oriented. Readers can comment publicly, reply to posts, send direct messages, participate in chat threads, and follow your notes feed, which works like a microblogging timeline. Many writers promote each other, collaborate publicly, and build audiences together. Your newsletter doesn't feel like an isolated product. It feels like part of a living network. Beehiiv takes a quieter approach. You can enable likes and comments, but they're optional and not the platform's main focus. Beehiiv prioritizes list building, segmentation, and monetization rather than public social interaction. So if you want your newsletter to feel like a social hub, Substack wins. If you want your newsletter to feel like a controlled media property, Beehiiv fits better. Monetization. This is where their long-term direction really diverges. Substack is focused almost entirely on paid subscriptions. You can run free newsletters, paid newsletters, or mixed models, but everything revolves around subscriptions. Your monetization engine is basically write, publish, convert readers into paying subscribers. It works extremely well for opinion writers, journalists, educators, and niche experts with loyal audiences, but it is also limiting. There are no built-in sponsorship tools, no ad networks, no advanced referral monetization, and no alternative pricing models beyond monthly or yearly subscriptions. Beehiiv treats monetization like a toolbox. You can still run paid newsletters, but you can also use their built-in ad network, get paid for recommending other newsletters, run sponsorships, create referral reward systems, offer lifetime subscriptions, offer pay-what-you-want pricing. Build multiple revenue streams simultaneously. Beehiiv is designed for people building a media business, not just a paid newsletter. Referrals, partnerships, and paid growth. Substack has recommendations, and they work well, but that's mostly where growth tooling ends. Beehiiv goes much deeper. You can set up automated referral programs that reward readers for bringing in new subscribers. You can use boosts to pay for subscribers or get paid to promote other newsletters. You can cross-promote inside the Beehiiv network. You can build onboarding flows that automatically introduce new subscribers to your best content. In Beehiiv, growth becomes systematic instead of accidental. Analytics, segmentation, and automation. This is where Beehiiv completely separates itself. Substack keeps things intentionally simple. You can see basic metrics like open rates, clicks, subscriber growth, and revenue. That's usually enough if you're just writing and publishing. But you can't really work with your data. You can't segment your audience based on behavior. You can't send targeted messages to different reader groups. You can't build automated onboarding sequences. You can't create conditional funnels or nurture flows. Your list is split into two buckets only, free and paid. Beehiiv treats your newsletter like a full marketing system. You can segment subscribers based on where they came from, how they behave, what they click, what they answered in surveys, what country they're in, how often they open, and more. You can send different messages to different segments. You can create automated email sequences triggered by signups, actions, or milestones. This allows you to onboard new subscribers automatically, re-engage cold readers, run promotions to specific groups, personalize content at scale. Build real funnels, not just broadcasts, for serious growth. This is a massive advantage. Ownership and control. Both platforms allow you to export your list, but the experience is very different. With Substack, you're operating inside their ecosystem. Your readers interact through Substack. Discovery happens through Substack. Engagement lives on Substack. You are building on top of their network. With Beehiiv, you are building your own independent newsletter brand. Your website, your list, your flows, your monetization, all feel like your own system, not a social platform. Neither is wrong, but they lead to very different kinds of businesses. Pricing models. Substack is free to start and always free to use, but takes a cut of your revenue. They take 10% of your paid subscription revenue, plus payment processing fees. That means the more you make, the more you give away. Beehiiv uses flat monthly pricing. There's a free tier for early growth, and paid plans that scale with your list size. They do not take a cut of your revenue. Once you're making real money, Beehiiv almost always becomes cheaper long-term. The final verdict. To keep it simple, choose Substack if you are primarily a writer. You want simplicity above all else. You value built-in discovery. You want to avoid thinking about funnels, automations, or marketing systems. You want to write and let the platform help bring readers to you. And choose Beehiiv if you want to grow aggressively. You want control over your brand and audience. You want multiple monetization paths. You want analytics, automation, and segmentation. And if you are building a real media asset, not just a newsletter. So in general, the real difference is this. Substack helps you publish. Beehiiv helps you build. And once you see that, the right choice usually becomes obvious.